presence of God to surround me with a tube of dazzling white light substance, like sun-glistening snow, pouring down around me as a circular wall of light. This light essence is constantly pouring like Niagara Falls. I also call on beloved Lord Gautama to surround my protective pillar of light with your circle of blue flame for any added protection which may be required. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Invoking the law of forgiveness. Beloved presence of God, I am in me. I am the ascended Master's law of forgiveness and transmuting flame of all the mistakes I have ever made and those of all mankind, as well as those of the elemental kingdom. Transmute this misqualified energy into the light of God that never fails. Illumine our minds and feelings, and see that neither I nor any of the rest of life ever makes the same mistakes again. Transmuting violet flame invocation. Magic I am presence, blaze through and around me the transmuting violet flame, thy sacred fire. Purify and transmute now all impure desires, hard feelings, wrong concepts, imperfect etheric records, causes, cause, effects, and memories, known or hidden. Keep this flame sustained and all powerfully active. Replace all by pure substance, power, accomplishment, and the divine plan fulfilled. After violet flame, invocation. Beloved Lord Gautama, Archangel Michael, and Ascended Master Jesus, charge into this violet flame your purifying, dissolving power of divine love. In its most powerful dynamic activity, let the powers of light descend into earth and take full command. In the name of the cosmic I Am presence, to all that is not of the light we say, you have no power, your end has come. In the name of the cosmic I Am presence, for all humanity, we now consciously give the authority for the earth to the ascended masters and cosmic beings to bring into manifestation the divine plan fulfilled. Ascension decree. My magic I Am presence, you direct my activity, world, and affairs, and take full command of me. Guide, protect, illumine me every step of the way, and see that I render the greatest service possible. See in your wisdom that I make the ascension at the close of this embodiment. I am the ascension manifesting. I thank you, beloved I am. We remember. We remember we are spiritual beings of light, one with the source of all creation. We remember all is one. We remember we are creators and part of a divine creative plan. We remember we are here in physical expression as guardians and stewards to earth, and we work in collaboration with other spiritual beings of light from various streams of consciousness. We work together, bonded by love, to liberate Earth Mother, to take her place as a world of peace. We walk the path of love and light. Luminous ones of the seven seas, we call you now, we call you now to heal the waters of Terra. Luminous ones of the seven seas, we call you now, we call you now to heal the waters of Terra. Luminous ones of the seven seas, we call you now, we call you now to heal the waters of Terra. I send the energy of love and gratitude to the water and all the living creatures in the Gulf of Mexico and its surroundings, to the whales, dolphins, pelicans, shellfish, plankton, coral, algae, and all living creatures. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Pray of the seven galactic directions. From the east house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west house of transformation, May wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Oyam Punanku, Eva Maya, Eva Ho. And even without words, there is the sensing and the knowing that the most angelic, sentient beings of light from all streams of consciousness join in this sacred circle for something profoundly wonderful is unfolding. And first we breathe with intention in the acknowledgement of our extended family of light that move and have their being in higher spectrums of expression and light and sound, beyond our human ability to perceive easily, but nevertheless, we sense and know it. And so at each and every holy in-breath and out-breath, there is a conscious connection to the expanded family of light that continue to create expanding concentric circles in all directions. Expressions beyond and transcendent to three-dimensional expressions. And so therefore what comes forth now is a geometry. And this geometry I can only explain as how you would see a sea urchin or many petals, but the petals are all encompassing around the sphere. That you would hold these points of light that completely cover in very specific triangular formations. As if staring at it in the front, I would say it would be 10 petals and then another 10 petals behind it. But whichever way you see this symbol that has anchored in the middle of this circle of light, see this form and how it expresses to you. For its pinpoints of light are specific and purposeful. And we breathe with intention, realizing that each and every holy in-breath and out-breath is the breath of Brahma, the breath of the divine, the breath of oneness of all creations. And as this interdimensional symbol of geometry comes forward, re-knitting, reintegrating higher dimensional expressions to this one. We breathe with intention, fully engaged as conscious beings, clearly interacting, understanding and knowing our collective purpose in higher service as we walk the path together of unconditional love and limitless light. For we remember, we remember, we remember. And as if in a dream, we begin to expand our awareness, our consciousness, into the realm of boundlessness. No constrictions, no limitations. And it is in this expansiveness that we do our work. And so we breathe each and every holy in-breath and out-breath, connecting more deeply, integrating in communion with the expanded family of light from all streams of consciousness in higher service. It is the unifacting singularity that has brought this interdimensional expression of the love of the divine and service. And as we intend to see this multifaceted, multi-pointed sphere of many, many pointed triangles, realizing that in its expression to us it comes in this form, but it is way more than that in other dimensional expressions. And so there are those aspects of ourselves that are now resonating with the factors of that expression in other dimensional realms of expression. Each aspect of this design and geometry specifically pointed for multi-layered, multi-dimensional expression and communication. The ability to walk in two worlds, three or more, simultaneously, instantly, being able to bring in through the power of thought in a nanosecond those answers and guidance, those aspects of ourselves that beg for attention, to be heard, now more clear, now more focused. And so as you allow yourself to expand into the boundlessness of who you truly are and bring in those aspects of this boundlessness, integrating it into the third dimensional expression of your day-to-day life in a physical world, yet holding, integrating, and anchoring the higher aspects simultaneously in a flowing and ceaseless communion. Yes. The mastery is at hand, and those who have come before you in this service has walked this path. And realizing the potency of your capabilities and what you are able to do. And so, with full focus, we bring in that geometry structure that exhibits itself in this third dimensional expression, but coming from much higher. Allow it to unfold in any way it comes into your spiritual eye or thought or sensing. Its purpose, its mission is the integration of the higher aspects of yourselves into your physical, mental, and emotional expressions within a third dimensional expression of the divine, anchoring the higher levels in a cohesiveness and oneness. And with this integration, with this divine and sacred communion, there is the forming of the singularity on your path of mastery. Your path of mastery is at hand. In the realizing finally the great illusion and delusion you have found yourselves in, coming into the veil of forgetfulness, but we say to you, the recapitulation of the re-remembering of who you are comes forward now more profoundly, more clearly, more anchored into the third dimensional expression, easily for you to tap into the higher dimensional expressions of your life. And so you breathe, using and remembering this sacred breath. This sacred breath. The unifying factor of all creations. And so as the expanded family of light hold this sacred divine template, this structure, we hold this image clearly as it unfolds in our spiritual eye, in our sensing and knowing, and as we do the integration, the communion of the higher dimensional worlds, brings and anchors in a reconstruction and rewiring, a reintegration and recalibrating of the very nuance within the brain. That the subtle bodies move into the physical, the mental and emotional, knitting more closely, more deeply, and more permanently. So we breathe and surrender to this unconditional love, this expansiveness, the reconnection once again into the boundlessness and who and what you are. As we come together as the family of light to bring forth the empowerment, the memory, and the power of the children of light upon the earth. The children of light taken from the earth, blended with her body, her mind, and her soul. For it is inseparable as you come into her gravitational pull. And it is this pointed purpose and mission that we collaborate in this moment, in this eternal now. So we breathe the cosmic breath. And as we unify those higher aspects, as the family of light holds this template, as we reknit the various worlds we walk, bringing a singularity into the oneness of it expressing in a third dimensional world, bringing forth the expansiveness of mastery as those who have come before have done, as those who have come before gather here now to move forward, support the abilities innate in each one. That the divine activation and remembrance of codes come forward now. That each sacred soul has its purpose and mission so profoundly needed and important in this time. The full activation of all talents and powers come online. And as this multifaceted, pointed orbs of light that expand in third, fourth, and fifth dimensions at once expresses itself as you perceive it, to you individually as well as collectively. And as the expanded family of light continues to grow in concentric circles around this pinpoint of light, this circle of light, it expands the very energetic field of your own electromagnetic field, boundless, integrating and weaving and knitting back the collective whole. So we breathe with intention, and we release all that is limiting, all that is blocking. In these moments now, let the silence take us over and allow this gifting grace and this geometry of multi-dimensions bring forth its light, unique to you individually and collectively. Simply breathe and receive. Remember to breathe with intention. As energy shifting starts, breathe with intention. We acknowledge all the beings of light who hold this template for us, as this divine grace, energetic exchange and integration continues in these moments. Any sensations that you may feel within your physical, mental, emotional body, simply be the observer. Simply be the observer. With each and every in-breath and out-breath, the higher dimensional codes anchor and knit into the physical, mental, and emotional expression of this third dimensional world. Simply breathe with intention in the understanding of what takes place in this eternal now. In the remembering of the higher aspects of yourselves and the many dimensions and worlds that you walk and have your being. Bringing in now all those resources, all those abilities, and all that power to integrate into the third dimensional expression while holding the other dimensions at the same time, as far and as much as you can go. And we can intend now in this moment that this process continues in the hours to come and in our dream state until it is completed. And now the thought of the return comes, but we very clearly intend to physically, mentally, and emotionally capture this exact feeling, sensing, and knowing that it is imprinted deeply within the very crystalline matrix of our own DNA, intending the activation and remembrance of this experience and all that it symbolizes. We hold a few more moments as this energy continues to integrate and knit deeply within our individual and collective fields. The symbol once again comes into your spiritual eye, sense or knowing how it expresses to you. Your understanding that it continues its divine purpose and its work for you. With the family of light present continue in holding the template for you until the work is complete. We take these few deep breaths in, and our intention now is the return. And as such, the energies begin to step down a bit as we now momentarily bring in our own electromagnetic field. As the beings of light who have participated in this draw in theirs, but still connected, still integrated until the work is done. We intend to be back awake and grounded on the count of 3. 1, 2. Take a very deep breath in. And 3. We are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.